Welcome back. Episode 4, the Triple Coverage Podcast. My name is Mitchell Graham.
I'm Zach Brown.
I'm Cody Batten.
He's
Look
got
at that.
his neck shirt
That's
on.
the number of a winner.
The Haynes King t-shirt on.
That's the number of a winner.
Zach, what the t-shirt you're wearing if you want to give fit checks?
Got my Bulldog shirt on.
I'm wearing a pink and white polo from the Georgia Club. And some gray shorts.
I don't think we need to know what shorts you're wearing, but
I'm wearing shorts. So anyways, this is episode 4. We're going into week 2 of the college football season. A really good first week. We'll get into the games pretty much immediately after we have our quiz. We always start with our quiz every single week. So I'm going to give it to Cody. Cody is going to present the quiz to me and Zach. Zach has not lost a head-to-head quiz yet, but I plan on changing that today.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. I had to turn on Do Not Disturb because I had company calls come in and it screwed my headset up. So we're good now. All right. So the quiz there's 10 questions. It's going to be 5 for Zach, 5 for Mitchell. And then we'll do the same thing where one can steal the other. Remind me, guys, we're going to go, I think it was 3 points. And then if I have to tell you the conference, it's 1. And then you steal 1. Does that sound like what we were doing last time?
Yep.
Yes.
Copy that. All right. I'm going to put down my official scoreboard here. So official. All right. The theme is mascots.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you the name of a mascot. You have to tell me what school that mascot represents. And then I will tell you the conference if you cannot get it or you get the first one wrong. So we will start with, who was the winner last time? Zach, as always. So we're going to let Zach start. Mr. Zach.
Okay.
Who is, or what does the mascot Tom represent? T-O-M, Tom.
That's not what I thought you meant by mascots.
It's his name, Tom.
Tom. Can I at least get like what it is? Like, I guess you can't give me what it is. Is it an animal?
I might consider a hint. Either I'll give you the conference or I'll give you a hint.
Can I at least get if it's an animal? Like, is it an animal? Okay.
It's an animal.
I don't know. Let's just do Kentucky. I have no idea.
Nope. I think it's a he. American Athletic Conference. The AAC.
Tom. Good old Tom. Good old Tommy boy. Bruh, I have legit no idea. Let me go with the Tulane Green Wave. I don't know.
No, that's pretty good. Pretty good guess. So Tom stands for Tiger of Memphis. So it's the Memphis Tigers. Name of their actual live tiger is Tom.
Tiger of Memphis.
Yeah.
So there's no chance to steal in this one, I'm assuming.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I apologize. So I guess we're not going to do the steal this time.
That's okay.
Mr. Mitchell, would you have been able to steal that one?
No.
Okay, then we'll count that as out. All right, so Mitchell, yours is, and these are really hard. It's going to get a little bit easier, and then the last one, you guys are going to hate me. Yours is, the name is Peruna.
Haruna or Paruna?
I'm going to spell it for you. Peruna.
Peruna.
Peruna is, Peruna. I'm thinking of I don't know. I'm going to just take a wild guess. Wyoming?
Nope. So your hint is in the ACC and is an animal.
ACC and it's an animal. Peruna, ACC.
No idea. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
If I was in your shoes, I would have got any of these.
ACC, animal, Peruna. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Boston College.
No. Zach, you want to attempt to steal?
Well, he didn't get to steal, so
We'll do the
just-
first round, no steal. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So Peruna is a Shetland pony for the SMU Mustangs.
Oh my gosh! I thought SMU. I couldn't.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. So where's 0-0? I might have
Like,
finally got the challenge that no one gets points.
Yeah.
There's a few that are a little bit easier, but all right, Zach. Big Red.
Big Red.
This
Is it
not a
Western?
live
Is it
one.
Western Kentucky? Is it Western
Actually,
Kentucky?
not. It is
No.
Oh, that was a good guess.
That's a really good guess, actually.
Okay. Give me
Fun fact: I've
confidence.
been to Western Kentucky and watched a baseball game, and their thing is they just have these towels or whatever, and their mascot is a big red dude.
Yeah.
So your hint is the SEC.
SEC. Big Red. You said it was a live mascot?
This one's not a live mascot.
Oh. Big Red. Who even has a red in there? It's not the Gamecocks. It's not Alabama. I'm going to say the Arkansas Razorbacks.
That is correct.
Yes, let's
The anthropomorphic hog is named Big Red.
There we go.
So,
Nice.
all right, Zach got
1 point.
1 point.
1 point.
Good
Uno.
shot, Zach.
All right, so you ready? The Tiger is the
The
name
Tiger?
of this not live mascot. The Tiger.
The Tiger.
The
What
Tiger.
heck?
The Tiger.
So it's not going to be Memphis. We've already talked about Tom. I don't think it's going to be any of the big. It's not going to be Auburn. I think that's Aubie. I think LSU's guy is not that. Clemson's guy. The Tiger. You would be the one to go ACC back to back for me. The Tiger. Let's think. Tigers. Let's go. You know what? Let's go South Alabama.
They're the Jaguars.
South Alabama.
I know, but it was just I needed to give a guess out there to get the confidence.
Okay. ACC.
It's Clemson.
It's Clemson.
Dang it!
Ah.
It's Clemson. Yep. Their stuff. Their guy in the costume is the Tiger. So very original.
Wow, Clemson.
That's such a Clemson thing to do, dude.
We're gonna get a little difficult. It's gonna get
Oh my
a little
gosh.
interesting here. I know.
A little difficult.
bit.
What was the last
bit.
two?
It was a warm up. All right. So Zach, Pounce, Pounce.
Pounce. Okay.
This is not a live mascot.
It's got to be like a wildcat or a tiger or a lion or something.
Oh my.
Let's go with the Arizona Wildcats.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Sunbelt.
Ooh, Sunbelt, Funbelt. Question: is it cheating if I pull up all the teams, just the teams? Because I need to know what teams are in the Sunbelt.
Yeah, because it'll show you their team name.
Yeah, they won't show you the conference name, or I mean, it's not going to show you the name of their mascot.
Yeah, I guess.
It don't matter to me.
All right, let me see. You said Pounce. Okay.
Pounce.
I'm going to go with. Wow, none of these, I think, go with that. I don't know, dude. North Texas?
Mm-mm.
Wait. That's not the right conference. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong conference. Let me get that back.
Oh my gosh.
I was looking at the wrong conference. Let me go Texas State Bobcats.
Nope.
Mitchell.
Okay, set the stage for me. We've got
Sunbelt.
Pounce. Pounce like a pounce. Pounce like a cat. Pounce like a Sunbelt, Funbelt.
You guys are gonna hate yourselves.
It helps if you pull up the conference.
Oh, I'm trying to do it the right way.
Shots fired.
I asked for permission.
All right. Okay. Well, give me.
I want to start at 10. I'm just kidding.
You've got what happened to Mitchell?
I think he went on his thing and might have closed him.
Oh, Morgan's laptop just died.
Oh, that's even better.
Okay, he's going to pull it up on his phone. So we're on standby right now, everybody, and Mitchell's going to come back.
So he's stealing, right?
No, he's yeah. He's
Okay. Do you want to know what it is? Oh wait.
Yeah, what is it?
It's Georgia State.
Dude, I knew it. Knew it.
I knew that would kill you guys.
Knew it.
Yeah, their Wildcat is Pounce. That's his name.
It's a panther. It's not a wildcat.
This was way like finding these. Like I knew I couldn't do like Big Al. I couldn't do Uga. I couldn't do Buzz. Like
Yeah.
it had to be. But then when I got complicated, I went down like the rabbit hole. I'm like, I've never heard of these names.
I
And
know.
some of them were really stupid. Like Clemson's the Tiger. I'm like,
The Tiger. Welcome the Tiger.
And then some of them were like in the name. Like for example, Purdue, the Boilermakers. Their train's called the Boilermaker Special. And I'm like, well, dude, you use that.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, as we are waiting, let's talk about some of the games from last week.
Oh yes.
Did you get to watch the Nebraska Cincinnati game? Did you get to watch that game at all?
I watched a little bit. I was with some family that night.
I didn't watch a whole lot
on
of it,
TV.
but I'll be honest with you. Like Nebraska kind of disappointed me. I really expected them to run away with that game, and it was close all the way throughout. I can't say a whole lot about it because I didn't watch the whole game, but I don't know, something about Dylan Raiola. We just been waiting for Dylan Raiola to break out, and he's just not doing it. He's just not being that guy. So I don't know what to think about this Nebraska team. I still don't believe Still don't believe in Cincinnati. Still don't believe in Cincinnati at all. Well, one thing we forgot is a reaction to the AP poll. Have you seen the latest AP poll?
Yes. Yeah, I'll pull it up right now just so I have it for reference. But
yeah, pull up the latest AP. What is your initial reaction to the AP poll?
There were a few that I was a little confused, but the top 5 feel, after the performances we saw, the top 5 feel right to me.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of, Penn State hasn't proven anything yet, but with their current ranking, like where are you going to put them? So I was okay with that.
Yeah.
And then you get down and you see Florida State at 14. And then you see, Alabama all the way down 13 down to 21. That was interesting to me. I understand what Florida State was able to accomplish, but to jump to 14 was interesting to me. So I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I honestly think this is one of those rare times that the AP got it right. Like, I don't really have much of a dispute with anybody where anybody fell in the poll. I think LSU climbing up to 3 is very legitimate. I think they probably have the best win out of anybody in the top 10. I know Ohio State beat number 3 Texas, but they were at home. LSU's the only one that got a road win. And so there was a lot of great games this past weekend, but LSU had the best one. And that score really was not indicative of how the game went. The entire second half was dominated by LSU. Clemson could hardly do anything. So LSU looks like a legitimate contender this year. They finally were able to get that first game monkey off their back. And so I understand why you don't put LSU at number 1, but to me, at least through 1 week of play, just through 1 week of play, they look like the best team in the country to me right now. Ohio State looks good. I have no problem with them at number 1, Penn State at number 2. I have no problem with Georgia at 4. We played Marshall, big deal. Florida State jumping into the top 25. I understand people's gripe. They went 2-10 last year. They beat Bama. I get it, but I don't know. I think they have a legitimate case to be in the top 25. They looked good, and Thomas Castellanos looked really, really good. Bama dropping 13 spots, I think was legitimate. I think there's a reason why they're getting a lot of criticism right now because that game, and we'll talk about that in just a second when we go through our week 1 recaps. But that team has some legitimate issues that they're going to have to work through, and they're going to have to fix it very, very soon. Mitchell needs to be let back in. Let me see here. Well, he's not in the waiting room. Here we go.
Okay. I added myself.
Yeah, I was like, you're not in the waiting room.
Look at that.
All right.
Okay, what's your guess?
For Pounce.
I
never even pulled up the Sun Belt. So let's Sun Belt.
While you were gone, we were just talking a little bit about the AP poll, but we'll get back into that after this quiz is over.
Let's go with UTSA.
The Roadrunners?
It is the Georgia State Wildcats.
Panthers.
Sorry, Georgia State Panthers.
And I just guessed an American Athletic Conference team.
I did the same thing, dude. I literally did the same thing.
I pull it up and it went to American Athletic.
I know it did the same thing for me.
See, I don't feel as bad now because last week I was getting all the conferences wrong.
Neither one of us got a point, so it's okay.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna do a little rapid fire and get into this. Zach, Big
this
Blue.
is Mitchell's because that was a steal for him. So this is
that's right. Question. That's right. So Mitchell, Big Blue.
Big everything, dude. Goodness gracious. Big Blue. Big Blue is
Ride the wave. The Big Blue Wave.
What about Delaware? The Blue Hens.
That's a really good guess, but that is not correct.
They're the Mud Hens, I think. They're not.
You will be in the Sun Belt Conference.
Welcome back.
Big Blue.
Big Blue Wave.
I think I know this one.
Big Blue. I'm gonna go with Coastal Carolina.
No. Is it the Monarchs of ODU?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. That is correct, sir.
That was my second one.
Oh man. All right, so that was Mitchell. So now it's Zach. So Zach's ahead by 1 on a steal.
Let's go.
All right, this will be our last Power 4.
All right.
So there's a little hint for you.
Okay.
Herky.
Herky.
Herky. Herky.
Herky. Herky.
I know this one. I think.
Herky. What? Herky. Brother, I have no idea. I'm just going to say, for some reason, I'm thinking of the USC Trojans. Give me the Trojans.
It is in, get this right, Big Ten.
It's the same conference. All right. Let me see here. Big Ten teams. Herky. Herky just reminds me of like Hercules. So I'm like, why? Like, who would be like Hercules? I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to say the Maryland Terrapins. Herky.
Okay. That was where I was going.
Mr. Mitchell, what you got?
Herkies.
Herky.
Or Herky.
Herky. That's just the name of the mascot is Herky.
Herky.
Is this the Spartan, the Michigan State guy?
That's a really good guess, but that is not correct.
Oh,
Dude, Herky the Hawk.
Oh,
Iowa Hawkeyes.
Dang it, dude.
Dang.
I was the whole
Their
time I was
hawk is
thinking
Herky.
the whole time I was thinking Herky the Hokie, and I was thinking
that's really good.
Virginia Tech, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Herky like Hercules. I'm trying to think of like Spartans or gladiators or something. I don't know. But.
So you went
All right.
Terrapins?
Well, the first guess didn't work. The first guess didn't work. So I was like, okay, it can't be that.
All right. This
So
one's tough.
This is Mitchell's.
Tough.
I need a 3.
Mr. Mitchell,
I need a 3-pointer.
you need a 3. Zippy.
Zippy?
Zippi. Zippy.
Is this the Akron?
Ain't no way.
It's the
That is
Akron
correct.
Zips. What do you mean? That's not a hard one. That's not hard.
The kangaroo is Zippy. Good job. Good job.
Akron.
You literally told me you weren't going to go with ones that had the mascot name in their name. And Zippy the
I
Zip.
did it. Really?
Zippy the Zip.
Zippy.
Come
It's
on.
close.
Boom. Boom.
Well,
It's okay.
that is
That's it.
a Mitchell in the lead. No, we got 2 more.
Oh,
However,
okay. Here we go.
both are FCS teams.
Oh, I got this.
You ready? All right, here we go.
I feel like a hint. We should still get 2 points. From the FCS team.
I'll give you. I'll tell you what the what it is. How about that?
Oh,
So, like for
right,
example,
okay.
I'll tell you because you're not going to care if it's Big Sky or whatever, right?
Right. I don't even know who's in the.
So I'll tell you what it is. Like the
Okay.
the animal or whatever it's supposed to be.
Okay.
All right, Monty, and Monty is a grizzly bear.
The Montana Grizzlies. Woo! Let's
There you
go.
It's all right.
All right.
You got.
As soon as you said
It won't be
Monty, I was
bad.
like Montana. As soon as you said Monty.
All right, you ready? The governor,
Dude.
and then the mascot
Dude.
is a.
Dude. Come on. I know this one too.
The governor.
I need at least 2 points.
Yeah, you'd have to get on the first one to beat him.
But we could tie. Because you get
Wait,
2
isn't
with
he
a
at-
hit.
Isn't he at 4-2?
Yes.
I'm up
You,
5
yeah, you could.
It's 5-3.
It's 5-4.
No, because you had
Oh.
1 point and you got a 3-pointer.
It's 5-4.
Yeah, it's 5-4.
So I can win
So you
with
can
a
tie,
2-pointer.
but you got to win with this one. The governor.
Dude, I know this. I'm
The
1,000% confident I know this one.
Is this George Washington University?
Mhm.
Oh, he only gets one more guess. Come on.
All right, so I'm trying to think of the best hint. It's literally the governor, and it looks like. I mean, do you want me to tell you what it kind of looks like? It looks like the Wake Forest Deacon.
Come on. I know this one. I know it. Miss it.
It's the same. It's the same, like just big-headed guy that's dressed like
yeah.
a governor.
Miss it.
It's got to be located in the Washington area. It's got to be, dude. Or Virginia. It's a Commonwealth state. I know for sure. It's not JMU because they're FBS now. That's right where my mind went was James Madison. And it's not them. It's got to be Washington or Virginia. Washington.
Do you want me to tell you the state the school's in?
For 1 point. If you tell me right, or is this for
It'd be 1 point.
It's 1
Because
point.
I
This would be
think
the
it's
tie.
going to help you a lot if he gives you the state.
I think it
okay.
will too.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Vermont.
Can I steal now?
It's
It
VCU.
it is Georgia's current opponent, Austin P. Woo!
Saturday. Yeah.
Austin P.
Austin P.
Governors.
State in Clarksville, Tennessee. They are the Austin P. Governors.
Austin P. Governors. Let's go.
I can see it now. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, unfortunately, the streak continues.
GG's.
Mr. Zach.
Defeated, baby.
By 1 point.
No, I stole.
Actually,
so I won by
technically 2 points. You stole one. That's right. So,
all right, let's get back into the conversation we had about the AP poll. Me and Cody kind of both gave our opinions. I thought that this is one of the rare times the AP poll got it right. I don't really have any disputes with anybody in the AP poll right now. I was telling Cody, I think LSU has the best win out of anybody in the AP poll. Their win was the only one that was on the road, so I think it's better than Ohio State's win. I think it's better than Miami's win. Give me your opinion on the AP poll right now, Mitchell.
Let me pull it up. I mean, I know kind of what it did, or I kind of know what it was, but I just want to be able to pull it up and make sure that Morgan's computer will work. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I think the biggest risers was LSU, because they went from 9 to 3.
Iowa State went up 6. Iowa State went up 22-16. That was a big riser.
22-16.
Florida State went from unranked to 14.
That's true. Okay, they're definitely the biggest riser. I think that right now the top 10 is perfect. I think that everyone in the top 10 in the order that they're in is perfect. Now, the only thing that if you were going to punish Oregon for the opponent that they had, you probably should have punished Georgia for the opponent that they had, and then moved Miami all the way to 4, and kept Georgia at 5, and then Oregon and kept Oregon at 6.
If I'm not mistaken, though, Oregon played an FCS school, and we at least played a Division I program.
So correct, but we're about to play an FCS school. So are we gonna get the same thing happen to us?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm honestly,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think that's very nitpicky. But I mean, honestly, right now, I probably would have Miami at 4. That's the only thing that I would switch because of the win that they had. Because they still have Notre Dame sitting at 9. That's a top 10 win. And Notre Dame sitting at 9, Miami's at 5. Miami was at 10?
Yeah.
Before that?
Yeah, they were 10.
And then so LSU was what? 9?
LSU was 9, and they beat number 3,
8.
Clemson.
Yes, but now 8. But Clemson's now 8. So, I mean, Georgia is just separating the two.
But again, LSU was the only one that was on the road. So that's the bigger win. And as I was telling Cody, that's the close score was not indicative of how that game went.
No, I think
second half was all LSU. Clemson couldn't do much of anything in the second half. So, in my opinion, and again, right now week 2 it doesn't matter, but in my opinion, I would put LSU number 1 just because I think they had the best win.
Can't do it though because
I know you can't.
Number 1.
I know you can't, but I think they have the best win on the board.
Correct.
So,
and if we were doing college football playoff rankings after 1 week, they probably would be.
Yeah.
And then I mean, to be honest with you, this is why we don't have college football rankings at this point, because the metrics that they look at don't do well.
Right.
With limited sample sizes, because it would be like that guy in the old college football chat, and he would have every undefeated team at the top 10, and then if you So I mean, Tech would be number 2, Ohio State would be 1.
Hey, shout out to that. I don't remember his name, but shout out to that guy.
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
Had the most ridiculous top 25.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. I think looking into the middle here, I think Florida is still rated a little high. 13. Florida being at 13. They just beat Long Island.
Long Island University.
Long Island,
not a good FCS program.
And Lagway did not play well.
Yeah, I think Lagway's kind of hurt, to be honest with you.
I mean, still, but I just don't. Right now, you're telling me that Florida's a better team than Florida State, Michigan, Iowa State, SMU, Oklahoma, A&M, Ole Miss. Like, that's
probably not. But like at this point, it doesn't matter. It's week 2. It doesn't matter. Like,
and other
Bama moving down to 21, I think was appropriate because we're going to get into the week 1 recap. But
let's just transition into that because
let's just transition into the week 1 recap.
I got one question though. Do you think South Carolina deserves to go up 3 by beating a bad Virginia Tech?
No,
they're number
and that was the
right
only
now.
Point that I was going to. That was the only other point that I was going to make. I think you could have probably kept, or you could probably could have just really moved them up a 1 or 2, and maybe moved Illinois into that spot.
Technically, South Carolina is now top 10. And that one was a shocker to me. That's interesting. That's great for them. They haven't been there in a while, but
with that, if you look at Florida's upcoming schedule, they play 8 or 9 ranked teams the rest of the way. That's crazy. But let's transition into the week 1 recap. And I guess since we were talking about Alabama, let's just go right into that game. Mitchell, why don't you give your initial thoughts on the Alabama-Florida State game? I know we didn't get to watch the whole game because we were up at the cabin, but we watched a good
majority of it. Yeah. It was. I think it was more than just the on-field play for Alabama that was kind of striking in this game. I think Alabama showed a lack of effort. I think they showed a lack of discipline, and they let from basically. After that first drive where they went down and they were dominant, they took like 10 minutes off the clock, running the ball well, scoring easily. They let Florida State dictate the game. They let an ACC school out-physical them, control the line of scrimmage, and really Florida State made Alabama play the way that Florida State wanted to play. And that is something that, to me, is a glaring issue because under Saban, under no circumstance were you going to not play to Alabama? If you were going to beat Alabama, you had to go play their level of football. You had to rise to their level. Alabama was being forced to play to Florida State's level, and they couldn't. And my biggest issue with Alabama coming into the season was Ty Simpson. I think Ty Simpson was fine. I think Ty Simpson had a fine game. He didn't do anything egregiously bad. He didn't do anything incredibly good. But the effort on defense, they could not bring Tommy Castellanos down. They could not bring him down. He was just running past people. There's a clip that's gone viral of Bray Hubbard just giving up midway through a play. And Kalen DeBoer is now 6-6 or 5-5 in his last 10 games as Alabama head coach. He now has he's now equaled the amount of losses that Saban had against unranked opponents. And he's in year 2?
Only 14 games in.
14 games in. So that's an issue. And Alabama's not going to play. There is already talks of buying him out. And it's week 1.
Yeah.
And so I think this was a glaring issue. I think Florida State was very good. And I think this could also be a situation where Florida State was a lot better than we thought.
Yeah.
And Florida State's a good team. They're a physical team. Tommy Castellanos is a good quarterback. But you can't excuse bad Bama. I almost would have dropped Bama out of top 25 because I don't think they looked like a top 25 team at any point in that game.
Yeah. I mean, my thought, I've got a couple things. I want to push back a little bit on the Ty Simpson wasn't the problem. I don't think he was the problem necessarily, but he's not the solution either.
Correct.
He's not dynamic enough to put that offense over the top. And I think probably by the Georgia game, they're going to go with the freshman because Ty Simpson is not going to be the answer. And they were able to run the ball effectively that first drive. But I think Saban said it best when they asked him what his assessment of the game was. And I think his assessment was the best. They got beat in the trenches. And that's something that that never happens at Bama. During the Saban tenure, they never got beat in the trenches, but they got embarrassed in the trenches by Florida State. And I think it also speaks to the fact that last year, I think, was just a quarterback problem. I think if they would have had a decent quarterback last year, I think Florida State would have had a dramatically different season. Not saying they would have even made the playoff or anything like that, but they definitely wouldn't have went 2-10. And Castellanos, hats off to him for backing up the smack talk. I mean, if you can talk your talk and then go out there and do it, I got nothing but respect for you. And I think Florida State rallies around that. They're saying, okay, our quarterback, is talking his mess and backing it up. And just to give a baseball analogy, back in the 2021 season with the Braves, when we acquired Jock Peterson, he kind of gave that same mentality of, we're better than you, we're going to beat you, and we don't care who you are. You guys can't stop us. And I think that mentality propelled the Braves to a World Series. And I don't think Florida State's necessarily going to win the national championship, but that mentality in a locker room can take you a long way. And so Florida State, and they have a very, very favorable ACC schedule. They play like all the bottom feeders this year. Mm-hmm. So look out for Florida State to easily win 10 or 11 games this year. And then, actually, Cody, give us your opinion. You're the ACC guy, the resident ACC homer. What do you? What was your opinion on that game?
I mean, you see a team go from almost being championship, could have played a championship and won, to 2-10, to now beating Alabama. We all agree Alabama's not number 8. They're pretty bad right now. But focusing on Florida State a little bit, coaching is everything. And if you looked at the mindset and the tone that was set, the very first game in Ireland against Georgia Tech, who is all like no talent, all will, you saw their will get destroyed, and they couldn't recover from that. So I think that this was a complete mindset thing, and that's hats off to coaching. And the only other thing I'll say is Gus Malzahn knows how to beat Alabama, and I don't get it. It makes no sense.
We should have known as soon as we saw him on the sidelines. We should have known.
Oh, yeah. And he was running that game. I mean, the eyes were on Gus more than it was on Napier.
Norvell,
sorry. And that's smart on Norvell's side, is to get the right people in place, because you could tell he was trying to coach up the guys last year, and it was a disaster. And everybody's heads down, nobody's in the stands. Guys, that was a super packed FSU. Everybody's tomahawk chopping. Everybody thought they could win, and it happened. So setting a tone, having a good mindset, they had something to prove, and they did it. That's all I have to say. It had talent aside. Alabama has 14 5-stars. FSU has, I think, 3. It didn't matter. You whooped them.
One thing I forgot to mention, Alabama has lost games before under Nick Saban. But it's not just the fact that they lost a game. It's how they looked when they lost this game. I mean, the score was not as close as the game was not as close as the score said it was.
Nope.
I mean, I think Alabama scored 2 late touchdowns to make this even a game.
One late touchdown.
But I mean, they just don't look the same. And I mean, how can you get rid of the greatest coach of all time? There's going to be a culture change, but dude, they don't look the same. And I'm not saying they're going to go 6-6 or anything like that, but I think the days of Bama dominance are done. I mean, unless they, and you already know, Bama fans are already calling for DeBoer's head. I saw a meme that said DeBoer better fix it, or DeKey is not going to work to DeDore anymore. But I think Bama Willie actually said that. But anyways, they just don't look the same, and they're being out physicaled. And I think Michael Penix single-handedly has carried Kalen DeBoer's career, because ever since Michael Penix is gone, Kalen DeBoer has not looked like the same coach.
Well, one more thing about Alabama. Looking at their upcoming schedule, they've got Louisiana Monroe coming up, which, if you know anything about Alabama history, is a pretty funny matchup to have after being 0-1, because in 2007 season, notoriously Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe week 2 as the head coach of Alabama. But they also then play Wisconsin, who's not a horrible team, but then they have to go to Athens. So there's a real possibility that Alabama's 2-2 going into the Vanderbilt game.
Yeah.
If Alabama is 2-2 or worse going into the Vanderbilt game, I think DeBoer's gone by the Tennessee game.
I don't see how you can fire him after not even 2 full seasons.
Because it's Alabama. It's Alabama. They're already – you said it when they hired DeBoer. You would rather be the guy after the guy than the guy after Saban.
Yeah.
So this job is going to be so much more desirable now. You're gonna attract Dan Lanning. You're gonna attract Dabo Swinney. You're going to attract Glenn Schumann from Georgia. You're going to attract, need I say it, John Gruden.
No, Bama's not going for John Gruden.
But Deion Sanders, guys like that, like there is going to be heavy interest in that job because now you're not going to look like the guy who came after Saban. You're going to look like the guy who resurrected Alabama back in to the limelight when in all reality, it's going to be the same caliber of players because these are all still Saban recruits.
Yeah. I think Dan Lanning would be the most likely guy.
Dan Lanning, I think is. I think that will be the pick.
People have talked about Lane Kiffin. I don't think Lane Kiffin's leaving Ole Miss. I don't see it.
Him or John Summerall. I've heard a lot. I've heard some.
Now, John Summerall's a good pick.
John Summerall from Tulane would be the guy. Would be another guy that they would go after. But I am just worried about him getting bored.
Yeah.
But anyways, we got to move on.
Let's go to another game. Let's talk about your team, Cody. Georgia Tech Colorado game on Friday. I didn't really watch much of this game, if at all. I think I watched the last 4 minutes of this game because we were traveling that day. But Cody, I know you watched every minute of it, so I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. What were your thoughts on Georgia Tech Colorado?
The good thing, there's a lot of bad because we looked rough. I mean, there was 3 turnovers in our first 3 possessions. One of them was an interception where there should have been a PI called, but that's besides the point. The first 2 were bad snaps and fumbles. That's week 1 stuff. I mean, that's camp. You're supposed to get that fixed. So Tech fans are a little pissed off at that. However, when we find ourselves in those situations, we've historically just did really bad throughout the game. And hats off to Colorado. They look completely different. I mean, that was not Colorado last year. They actually were very physical up front comparative to last year. Their offense was very different running. They had a run game. They had a game plan, and they had a plan to beat Georgia Tech, and they could have done it. What didn't do it was we got out of our way, and we were a better team, and we remembered that. And we stuck to the run. We Haynes King'd the whole time. There's the last touchdown where Haynes King goes right through a million guys untouched. It's amazing. That's why I'm wearing the freaking shirt. And then at the very end, Deion Sanders decides to end the game with 2 timeouts in his pocket like an idiot. And I'm reminded that Deion has no idea what the frick he's doing. I was pissed off for Colorado. I'm like, call a freaking timeout. So Salter had a minute and a half, and he only got in like 4 plays.
Yeah.
And there was 2 timeouts going at what is he supposed to do? So they had a really big opportunity to tie it up the way that they were playing. They weren't able to due to coaching. So we got lucky there. Georgia Tech was the better team, but we came in rough. So we got a lot to work on.
Yeah. I was near death during this game, laying in bed. So I was in and out of sleep watching it, and I did have enough consciousness to see the Haynes King run, which was crazy. And for a minute, I felt like everything was okay. Haynes King is doing a weird thing to me because I can't like Georgia Tech. Like I can't, but I like him so much. I like him as a player so much. I like his grittiness. Like when he hurts himself, he becomes better. I think when he's hurt, he becomes a better player. And he ran for 156 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game. He was responsible for all 3 of your touchdowns in that game with his legs. And I think those are the kind of guys that the team is going to rally around. I don't think Caden Salter was bad, but I don't think he did anything extraordinary. And I think that's what Colorado's going to need in some of these games. I do agree the physicalness, the physicality of Colorado was much better, but I think Georgia Tech went out and won this game on the road in a tough place to play. And I think the game kind of worked out the way that we even talked about it on the podcast. Come out really slow, come out just very sloppy, and then they pulled it out. So that was a good game. I was able to watch most of that game in and out of consciousness, but that was a fun one.
Yeah. I don't have much to say on this game because I didn't watch most of it, but I'll say I did expect more from Tech. I did expect them to to win this game comfortably. But credit Colorado for playing more physical, and I think that's a big credit to Warren Sapp being the defensive line coach at Colorado. If you know who Warren Sapp is, he's an NFL legend. So credit to them for that. But also huge coaching blunder by Deion Sanders, not calling those times, and then coming out and doubling down and saying, like, well, we didn't need to call those timeouts because if you execute the plays, you don't need to call the timeout. Okay, but you didn't execute the play, so that's when you call the timeout. The first play, you get, I think it was a sack or a loss of 2 yards, and you just chew up like 40 seconds. Like, call the time. That's what they're there for. That's what the timeouts are there for. I think some programs have already started doing this, but I think every program in the country needs to have a clock management coach where that's all they do for situations like that, because Colorado probably still would have lost the game, but they had no chance because their coach didn't call any timeouts. But let's move on to a game we've kind of already talked about a little bit, but LSU Clemson. This game was, again, this is another game where I didn't get to see a whole lot of it. Mostly the second half is what I got to see. And, I thought LSU at halftime, I was like, man, LSU is going to blow this again. They're going to lose this game again. They just can't get this monkey off their back. But then the second half, even though they didn't score a lot, they shut Clemson down. Clemson couldn't do anything in the second half on the LSU defense. And LSU probably should have scored 2 more times, but they just couldn't finish off drives. They missed a field goal. But LSU looked really good. And I kind of, as we're recapping this game, wanted to talk about a little bit of the banter between Brian Kelly and Dabo Swinney after the game.
Love it.
Dabo Swinney came out and said, both teams did not play well. It's basically like LSU scored a 65 on the exam and we scored a 57. And then Brian Kelly said, you must not have been watching the same game we did. You're accurate in saying that you scored a 57, but we did way better than a 65. Just kind of back and forth there on that. A little unnecessary in my opinion, but it's always fun to see coaches go back and forth. I don't think both teams played sloppy. I think it was just good defense. But Clemson, once again, we're talking once again about poor offensive play.
Yeah.
Once again, this has been the same story for 3 or 4 years, and it seems like no matter who they have at OC, they can't figure it out. They found some
weapons because they have a great wide receiving core.
They found some special sauce at the end of last year, but I'm starting to question now what's been the consistent, the one consistent over the last 3 years that the offense has struggled. It's Cade Klubnik. Is he the problem at Clemson? I think he might be because he's been the one consistent during all their offensive struggles. So, but good on LSU. I think they have the best resume. So, it's only 1 weekend, but they have the best resume so far, and they look like a legitimate SEC contender. Mitchell, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I was very impressed with Garrett Nussmeier. I was very impressed with LSU's defense. And I think it was actually a big thing that they talked about a lot on College Game Day is the defensive coordinator for LSU. His name's now slipping my mind.
It's the guy, Baker, something Baker.
Yeah, Blake Baker.
He was from Missouri. Yeah,
Blake Baker. And he's finally got his guys. He's finally got his guys in there. He's got some. He loaded up in the portal, and those guys were balling. Those guys were playing physical, and it might have been a little bit of bad Clemson offense, but I think it was a lot of good LSU defense.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because LSU just looked different. And that's what they've been missing is they could play in these games where it's 35 to 31, but these low scoring games is where they would get bit, and they were great. And now LSU, I think, might be the second best team in SEC. If they play like that consistently, I think they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah. But that's been the Brian Kelly issue is playing like that consistently. That's always been Brian Kelly's
it's always
problem.
been the beginning of the year that they've played bad, and every Brian Kelly team is better at the end of the year than they are at the beginning.
That is
so
true.
If they're already starting the year really good, I don't want to see how they're going to be at the end of the year.
Yeah. Cody?
I'm just not. You guys nail on the head. The only thing I'll say about Clemson is I'm just really happy we're playing them early because it looks like it's going to be the same trend where the offense gets it figured out towards the end. And I agree, Cade Klubnik might be the problem. Because you're, like you said, Mitchell, receiving core is amazing. Everything on paper is the way it should be. But, everything on paper was the way it should be for FSU last year. And we all know how that went. So I think Dabo's going to need to switch it up, maybe try a few things, maybe have the backup come in and just see what happens. I don't know, but
it won't happen. They won't.
Solid
defense, Dabo
man.
Is loyal to a fault, man. He's not going to anybody else.
But he's in the transfer portal a little bit, so maybe he can adjust. But it does seem like the same trend. So, but also, what a freaking atmosphere that was, though. That was.
Oh yeah.
I've been there before. It's very loud. I can't imagine how loud it was that day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and I think another part of the banter between these two teams was pregame. A couple days before the game, Clemson reported a player on LSU and made him ineligible for the first half of the game because the team he had transferred from, he had gotten in a fight on the very last game or something, got an unsportsmanlike conduct, and the NCAA was like going to overlook it, and Clemson reported it, made him suspended for the first half.
I love that.
And
awesome.
I think that was a little bit of fuel to the fire for LSU to come out and play the way they did.
Well, who called it Death Valley Jr.? Was it LSU that said that to Clemson?
Maybe.
They both called Death Valley.
Yeah.
So someone said, yeah, we're going to Death Valley Jr. So
yeah.
I love it, dude.
I guess LSU proved who's the real Death Valley.
Yep.
All right. Just so we can get this moving, let's go with
Texas, Ohio State. Right?
Texas, Ohio State. Let's talk about that, and then we'll end it with Notre Dame, Miami. But let's talk about Texas, Ohio State. Cody, why don't you start off? Did you get to watch any of this game? I'm assuming you watched.
I did a little bit. There's a couple other games I was watching too, but I think Ohio State's earned the number one spot because it looks like not much has changed from last year. So Texas did not look very good, and it's because of what's his name?
Arch Manning.
Manning. And that was the question mark for everybody at the beginning of the season. And I don't know why everybody was so high on him myself. I was a little confused by that. So being number one didn't really make sense. And I think we saw it. Will they get better? Sure. Will Arch Manning be good? Maybe, but it's the same question you always have with a new fresh quarterback like that. So but Ohio State, that's going to be a tough team to beat. I think they earned the number one spot. So,
yeah. Listen. I watched. Me and Mitchell, I think, both watched all of this game, or maybe you were sick or something. But we both watched.
No, we were good. We were in the theater room.
Yeah. We watched all this game, and as much as it was a low-scoring game, I don't think it was necessarily a boring game. I think it was still a good game all around. It was smash mouth, teams trying to figure each other out. And you had two teams with quarterbacks making their first legit start. And so there was definitely some struggles for both quarterbacks. But I will say that Julian Sand figured it out a lot quicker than Arch Manning. I don't know if Arch Manning ever really figured it out, so to speak. He looked like a deer in headlights pretty much the whole game. And I know everybody's dogging on Arch Manning right now, and rightfully so, because he played horrendously. He had maybe one or two good throws the whole game. But I think Arch Manning is going to have an opportunity to get better. I mean, they're playing a nobody school this week. They're probably going to drop 70 on whoever they play this week. But it just goes to show you that you have to see a guy play first before you start hyping somebody up. I cannot. It's one of my biggest pet peeves about college football is when we hype guys up when they've never even touched the field yet. I don't care how good you were in high school. This is not high school football. If you look at tape of the teams that Arch Manning played in high school, they were terrible. He was playing 1A schools. Now, again, that doesn't mean Arch Manning's going to be bad. I'm not saying Arch Manning's going to be benched or anything like that. And they could still win the Natty this year. But can we please just wait for somebody to actually play a football game before we start giving them all this hype? Because I actually feel for Arch Manning, all this pressure that was on him to have to live up to all of this hype that's been on him. So I feel bad for him, but again, facts are facts. He did not look good in this game. The Ohio State defense kind of picking up right where they left off because last year they were more of a defensive team than they were offensive team, and they still look the same. I think Julian Sand's going to continue to get better. Jeremiah Smith, he did have a rough game, but I don't think that's going to stay that way. I still think he's the best wide receiver in the country, and Ohio State's going to be a force to reckon with, just like they are every year. But credit to Ohio State for having a good game plan. And then one last thing I'll say, and then I'll hand this off. But Texas is always hyped up to be the best team in the country, and still under Sark, they have not won a big game yet. They still have not won a big game yet, so I need to see it. I need you to prove it to me, Texas, before I believe the hype. So, Mitchell.
Yeah, I think that honestly, Ohio State got lucky that they won this game, because I think that if you flipped it the other way around and Texas won 14-7 and you kept the statistics the same, we'd be having this exact same conversation about Ohio State. Because I don't think that Ohio State wowed me at all in any facet of that game. Their defense was great, but Julian Sayin statistically had a worse game than Arch Manning. He didn't do as much on the ground. He threw for 50 less passing yards, and he had a lower completion percentage.
Yeah, but he didn't make the big mistakes like Arch Manning did.
Arch Manning threw one interception.
Yeah, but he made some bad throws. It's not just the incompletions; it's the bad throws.
But what I'm saying is, this has to if the result was flipped, we'd be having the exact same conversation about Ohio State, because they would have put up 7 points, and Julian Sayin wouldn't have been great, and Arch Manning would have been praised for overcoming a bad start and winning the game, which they were close to that. They were close to coming back into that game and making it a game, and Arch Manning played better as the game threw out. I'm not an Arch Manning guy at all, really, at all. But I think that it was easy to rag on them because they lost the game, but I do not think that we should ignore the fact and sit here and praise Ohio State for all this, because I think Ohio State, if they played LSU week 1, they would have lost. If Ohio State would have played Miami week 1, they would have lost. If Ohio State would have played Notre Dame week 1 or Clemson week 1, I think they lose all 4 of those teams. So I think they got lucky that they ran into a team that was starting a new quarterback and had some offensive issues. I'm not quick to crown Ohio State just yet.
Oh, I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship. I'm just saying that they didn't lose a lot on defense. They still got Caleb Downs. They still got all the main pieces on defense.
No, there's not a question mark for me on defense. That's not the question mark.
Yeah.
And Texas do a bad. I mean, we've seen so many first bad games.
They've never won a big game.
Last week.
They've never won a big game.
I know, but they're still a top 10 team. I mean, they're ranked number 7. So Texas is still, that game technically means nothing outside of week 2 rankings, as long as Texas wins out in the SEC. So
they both are deservedly top 5 teams in the country. That's why the score was so low and so close. But at the end of the day, Ohio State's won big games. Texas hasn't in a long time. So I got to see it from them. But let's move on to the last game we'll talk about, and then we'll get into picks. The Notre Dame-Miami game. I'll let Mitchell, I'll let you start off because I know you want to talk about this game.
Carson Beck, baby. Carson Beck. Told you. That Miami team looks lethal. And I think that Miami has quickly become the team to beat in the ACC. After the way that they performed against Notre Dame, which is a good physical Notre Dame team that did not lose much defensively, Carson Beck went and picked them apart. CJ Daniels is a dog. Mark Fletcher is great, and Carson Beck was sharp. Carson Beck looked like the first-year starter for Georgia, like he did when he was the first-year starter for Georgia. He was quick. He was decisive. He had a high completion percentage. He was making the tight window throws. Carson Beck, if he plays like that, he will win the Heisman, and Miami will win the ACC.
Cody?
Has Carson Beck ever cried after a Georgia game? Did you guys watch the ending of that?
Oh, yeah. He was emotional.
He was very emotional. I was shocked. I mean, I'll joke and say, when Cracker Barrel changed their logo, I was putting the meme of Stetson Bennett and Carson Beck because, it's the same idea. But he absolutely killed it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was beautiful. I hate Miami. But I want everybody to remember that I predicted there'd be 3 ACC teams in the playoffs, and I'm looking like I might be quite right. Because Clemson still looks pretty dang good, and Florida State looking really good, and then Miami is probably going to be the number one in the ACC. They're already top 5, and if they keep playing like that, they're going to keep rising. So I hate it, but Miami is legit.
I kind of want to.
We don't have to play them.
I kind of want to reel it in and bring us back down to earth a little bit here. This is week 1, and Miami historically has not been consistent throughout a whole season. Now we can play the what if game. If they are consistent, they'll be the best. Yes, I agree. They have all the talent there. They've had all the talent there for years now.
They haven't had Carson Beck.
Under Mario Cristobal, I think Cam Ward's better than Carson Beck. To be quite honest,
I think Carson Beck's a better quarterback than Cam Ward.
Well,
Cam Ward had one.
We have differing opinions on Carson Beck, and I think Carson Beck played great. I think he played great, but I will push back a little bit because I watched some highlight tape, and some of those throws were very ill-advised. The touchdown to C.J. Davis was in triple coverage. If he doesn't reach up, that's intercepted. If he doesn't make a phenomenal catch,
he put it right where CJ could get it though.
It was not a good decision. He threw it off his back foot and threw it up for grabs. That's not a good decision. I'm sorry.
It's a touchdown.
You can ask anybody you want to. That's not a good decision.
It was a touchdown.
It was a touchdown. He got bailed out by his wide receiver. Okay, which quarterbacks get bailed out all the time. I'm not saying anything. I mean, quarterbacks get bailed out all the time by their wide receivers. But let's slow our roll down a little bit, okay? And I also want to push back against all of the media who claimed that Georgia mistreated Carson Beck. That is the biggest load of hogwash I've ever heard in my life. You know what? Yeah, maybe the fans push back on him, but they said that the Georgia football program, that's the way they were portraying it on TV, that the Georgia football program mistreated him. I'd like you to go back and watch the video of Kirby Smart, what he said about Carson Beck after we lost to Alabama. He went up there, he went into the locker room. Carson Beck's crying because he didn't have a good game, and Kirby Smart's calling him up front and saying playing quarterback is tough, and this is our guy, and we love him, and all that. So I don't want to hear anything about the Georgia mistreatment. That's fake news. That did not happen. Okay, he was treated very well here at Georgia. If he was not happy here, that is his own fault if he was not happy at Georgia. Okay, if you cannot handle the crowd noise of fans being unhappy with you, then I don't want you here. And I'm not saying that those complaints came from him, but I'm saying if they're pushing that narrative because Carson Beck was unhappy with how the fans felt about him, then you're soft, and I don't want you here. Again, I'm not saying that was his opinion, but anyways, I wanted to squash that narrative because that's not true whatsoever. The Georgia football program treated Carson Beck probably better than he deserved. Kirby Smart was loyal to a fault to that man. And when many coaches probably would have pulled him at halftime against Bama, we didn't. And he played very well in the second half.
And he almost won the game. So that's why
he almost won the game. But again, Miami, they look great. But I feel like we say this about them every single year. They look great. They don't
come out and beat Notre Dame every year.
But they go out and they beat a good team every year, and then they go and they lose to somebody like Virginia Tech at home. And they'll lose to North Carolina State on the road. Like, it happens every year. So let's just slow down and let's just watch Miami. Let's watch Mario Cristobal coach this team into oblivion, because I don't trust Mario Cristobal whatsoever. But big win for them.
Notre Dame, though.
And let's also talk about how Miami also almost blew that game at the very end. You give Notre Dame one more possession, I think they win the game, in my opinion. They blew it. They blew very simple coverage to a tight end who hadn't been open all game. CJ Carr didn't have a great game. Then in the fourth quarter, for some reason, Miami's just playing soft coverage, and they're just letting big plays downfield. So again, I need some time on Miami before I'm really bought in on them. I need a couple more weeks, couple more big wins, and I'll be bought in on them. But did you want to say anything else about Notre Dame?
No, I was just saying, like, we're not talking about Notre Dame either. They didn't look as bad as, I mean, like you said, they could have potentially won that game with one more score, and they looked about the same that they did last year. So Notre Dame lost to NIU and played in the playoffs last year. So, I mean, we will not forget about them they will show up again. I think they're just as
good
as they were last year.
They're the type of team that comes out and plays better.
I don't think they may lose one more. I don't
8-4. I think Notre Dame goes 8-4.
We'll see. Maybe they do. Maybe they do.
Too.
But if they do go 8-4, that loss, that win by Miami actually looks worse. But anyways, let's. I just want to say one thing about the North Carolina TCU game. That was awful. And Bill, what I said preseason about North Carolina seems to be coming true. That team looks terrible. They look distracted. They look unmotivated, not well coached, and I would not be surprised if they don't even make a bowl game this year. That was horrible. But also give props to TCU. They looked really good. I don't know if you guys want to comment on that game, but I just thought that game was
I thought that great drive. If they can bottle up that first drive, they're going to be a good team. I mean, after that, they did nothing.
It's easy to do good on scripted drive. But then
honestly, and I'm going to talk more about TCU, and I know you have a problem with Josh Hoover. Josh Hoover looked good, dude. Josh Hoover was
amazing. Josh Hoover was amazing, and I have nothing negative to say about him except for his off the field choices. But on the field, he is amazing.
He was throwing some absolute dots.
And I know I picked TCU to go 3-9, but after what I saw, I legitimately think they can win the Big 12 this year. Like, in all seriousness, I think they can win the Big 12 this year. But let's go on to our picks. Week 2, we've got a couple good games coming up this week. Of course, not as good as week 1. But the first game we're going to pick this week is Illinois goes on the road to play Duke. I think this is a sneaky good game.
Really
not a lot of people are talking about. These two teams play similar styles, defense first, run the football, be physical. Both have good quarterbacks. I like both quarterbacks in this game.
Yeah.
But Cody, you being our resident ACC expert, you give me your pick on Illinois traveling to Duke.
So the spread is I think it moved a little bit. It's about 3.5 now. ESPN has
2.5 for Illinois. Still, I think.
Is it 2.5 now? Okay. And
the
ESPN has it as 50.6% towards Duke, actually. So what's crazy is Illinois is rated 11 and Duke is nothing. But what's wild is I really think Duke's going to pull this off. And it's not going to be an upset like everybody's going to see it as an upset on TV. Because like you said, very similar teams. And I think Duke could be pretty decent this year. I think they could be another 8-4 team. So I'm going to pick Duke close. I think ACC's on a roll a little bit. I don't think that's going to stop. So I think Duke has something to prove.
All right, Mitchell, give me your pick for this game.
Yeah, I love both of these teams. These are two of probably my favorite non-Georgia teams this year. I really do like this game. I've looked forward to this game. I think that Illinois is going to win it, but I think this is going to be electric. I think it's going to be a close game from start to finish. Darian Mensah played a phenomenal game last week for Duke, 389 yards, 3 touchdowns. But I think Luke Altmaier and the physicality of the defense for Illinois is actually going to pull this game out on the road. Huge win. And I think Illinois is going to start garnering a little bit of that. He's going to start getting some of that Indiana hype and that Indiana love like Indiana got last year, to where they're going to be so established that even if they lose a game, they're going to get into the playoff. I'm starting to think that they might sneak into the playoff as long as they keep things afloat.
Yeah. My opinion is very similar to Mitchell's. I think Illinois wins a close game here. I like Darian Mensah. I like Duke, and I'm very tempted to pick Duke because I think that there's gonna be not a lot of people are talking about them. They could take the disrespected angle, and I think they will feel disrespected going into this game.
Yeah.
And I think they could have a lead for a majority of the game. But I think at the end of the day, the experience of Illinois is going to be the difference. They win the game. Luke Altmaier is going to win the game for them. And I've always liked Brett Bielema. Brett Bielema. It'd be nice for him to get a big win and for this Illinois team to do good. Illinois is hosting Ohio State this year. I've seen a few people predict Illinois winning that game.
That's going to be.
I could see it. I could see it. Next game, let's go to Baylor at SMU. Baylor coming off a loss to Auburn last week. SMU they won, but they didn't really play anybody all that great. I was looking at the quarterbacks for this game, and Jennings has a 25 QBR right now. He must not have played very well last week. Sawyer Robinson played pretty well. I'm going to go with Baylor to win this game close on the road. I think they need a bounce back win. They're not going to see a defense as good as Auburn's. I think the rest of the year, Auburn has a much better defense than I gave them credit for. I was very impressed with their defense. And again, I don't think Baylor's going to see a good defense, as good a defense like that the rest of the year. Give me Sawyer Robertson and the Baylor Bears to get a close win on the road against SMU. Mitchell?
This game was tough for me because I do see what you're saying. The whole with Baylor's, they're not going to play a defense that way, but I think there was glaring issues for Baylor in that game. I think it was a little bit. I think Auburn did play a good game, but I do think that Baylor really kind of crapped the bed, in all honesty. And I think that they have some underlying problems, the same kind of underlying problems they've had throughout Dave Aranda's tenure. And I think SMU is going to exploit it at home. So I think I'm going to take SMU comfy in this game.
All right. Cody.
So the thing that you guys are missing that's really important about this game is it's on the CW network. And that just means that it's going to be chaos. Now, I was actually leaning towards Baylor because I'm just not impressed with SMU. I think they're ranked kind of high. So to me, an upset would actually be SMU winning. And so the CW network always has upsets. So I'm choosing SMU close. Very weird logic.
Does YouTube even carry the CW?
Yes.
I don't know. Oh, they do?
They did last year.
I'm tuning in, baby. Come on, CW.
Yeah.
All right.
Quite if you watch Supergirl or whatever the crap they play.
I did forget to give a points update after week 1. Mitchell did win the week last week. He had 11 points, and then Cody and I tied for 9 points. And my son went 8-2 in picks last week, so very impressed with him.
Wow.
But next game, the Hawkeye State or the Cy-Hawk Trophy, Iowa at Iowa State. This game is always close. Mitchell, why don't you give your opinion on this game first?
I'm going to go Iowa State comfortable. They're at home. I really like the way Rocco Beck's been playing. The white running back Carson Carson Hansen has been electric. I like Iowa State a lot. I'm now seeing how bad Kansas State's playing. I think Iowa State might be the favorite in the Big 12 with Utah and with TCU. Both of those, all three of those teams are playing good. I think Iowa State takes this. Iowa's quarterback, I don't know if you saw it last year. He hit this area last week. He hit the 6-7, and then he just kind of crumbled into the end zone. He hurt his leg doing the 6-7. So I think anyone with that kind of Aura losing that many Aura points, I think they're going to lose.
I'm going to go with Iowa State as well, but I think it's going to be a close game. This game is never a blowout. It's never It's always like 17-10 or like 10-9, something stupid like that. So I'm going to pick the Cyclones close. I think the final score is going to be like 17-13, something like that, just because the defense is in this game. But I've been very impressed with Iowa State. I agree with Mitchell. I think they're one of the favorites now to win the Big 12 and how they've played. But give me the Cyclones close.
Really weird stat, right quick. I don't know how to say his last. Gronowski, is that how you say his last name?
Yeah.
44 passing yards against No Name State or whatever their name was last week on an okay win against an FCS school. Very odd. And then you go look at it, and it's 461 passing yards, and they played a better team. They're 2-0. I like the Cyclone train, so I'm going to pick them, but I'm going to pick it close because I know Iowa's gonna bring their best, but I think Iowa State pulls it out in the fourth quarter.
All right, next game up, we got Virginia on the road at North Carolina State, an early season conference game for the ACC. Again, Cody, since you're our resident ACC expert, give me your pick on Virginia at North Carolina State.
Hold up right now. I'm going to be picking NC State close. Reason is I just know that Virginia I don't really know anything about Virginia other than historically they're just a bad team, and NC State doesn't look much better. So I just had to kind of trust Vegas with this. I really didn't know what to think. So I just don't have any information about both teams. So I'm going to coin flip NC State. And I'm hoping that NC State is bad because we have to play them this year. We do not play Virginia. but my gut says NC State wins it close at home.
All right, Mitchell.
I've got NC State comfortable. This game was threw me for a little bit of a loop when I was going and looking at what Virginia did last week. They beat Coastal 48-7 last week. That they put belt to Coastal, and that was pretty impressive. I just think CJ Bailey's a better quarterback in this game. I think at home, CJ Bailey's he played a good game last week. He's going to be able to get the ball rolling with Smothers on the ground. I think they win this game comfortably. Give me NC State comfortable.
All right, I'm also going to pick the Wolfpack, but I got them winning this game close. I have not been impressed with NC State's offense. The last couple of years, especially the last 2 seasons, they've been very good defensively, but offensively, it's almost like a Clemson problem. They're just sputtering offensively. I like CJ Bailey, but it seems like he's only one-dimensional. Like he's really only a threat on the ground. He's not that great of a passer. Chandler Morris had a great game last week against Coastal, but I think Coastal is actually really bad because I was wondering why the spread on that game was so big, and I think we figured that out why, because Coastal Carolina looks really bad this season. So I'm going to go NC State close. I think it's a low-scoring game. We don't see a lot of offense, and I don't believe in Tony Elliott. So I think Tony Elliott will probably be fired by the end of the year, but give me NC State to win this game close.
Yeah.
Next game, another early season conference game. Ole Miss going on the road to play Kentucky. Us Georgia fans know how difficult it is to play at Kentucky because we can never seem to get a comfortable win there. And Kentucky coming off an upset win against Ole Miss last year. I think it might have been the only conference game they won last season was against Ole Miss.
Yeah, week 2 or week 3. I think it was week 3 or something.
And so Kentucky looking to do it again, and Ole Miss looking to avenge that loss. I don't think it happens. I think Ole Miss wins this game big. 3 touchdowns or more. Zach Calzada at quarterback for Kentucky.
He's orange,
a struggle win against Toledo. They couldn't even really score until the 4th quarter of that game against Toledo. Yeah. I think Austin Simmons is going to go off. And I know winning big at Kroger Field is not easy, but I think Ole Miss does it. I think they want to avenge that loss from last year. And I know they're on the road, which that kind of made me hesitate going big, but I don't think it's going to matter. Give me Ole Miss to win by at least 3 touchdowns in this game. Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ole Miss is going to win this game comfortable. I don't think that it's going to be big just because it is at Kroger Field. And like you said, us Georgia fans know that going into Kroger Field is like an automatic low-scoring struggle win type of thing for us, especially, I guess, for Kirby Smart. I think Lane Kiffin's going to come out and have a good game plan. I think Kentucky's going to be able to slow the game down. I don't think their offense is good by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think that Zach Calzada is going to be able to make some early plays, keep this game a little close, and then Ole Miss is going to pull away in the second half because they simply do not have enough on the offensive end. And I do think that Austin Simmons is going to be able to, kind of lock in the 4th quarter, make a couple plays, and they'll get a comfortable win.
Cody.
Ole Miss big. Look, Ole Miss destroyed Georgia State, who I would argue is a better team than Toledo, and Kentucky struggled against Toledo. I get it first week. I get the whole Kroger Field thing, but that's a bad Kentucky team.
Yeah.
And I think Lane Kiffin will come in and whoop some tail. I think they're going to have a really good offensive plan.
Yeah.
And it's going to look close until probably the 4th quarter, and that's where the big will come in. So Lane Kiffin and the boys are going to win that one big.
I also feel like Mark Stoops just isn't into it anymore. I feel like he's kind of just over Kentucky.
He's been doing it for a long time, dude.
Yeah, so I think the Mark Stoops train ends this year. Next one, Kansas at Missouri. The border war has been revived. This game was crazy back in 2007. Both Kansas and Missouri spent time in the top 2, I think, last season, or back in 2007 when they played each other. This is a big-time rivalry in basketball, I know that, but they're reviving it here in football. Cody, give me your pick for Kansas traveling to Missouri.
I strictly pick this because of pretty much SEC talent and depth. I think this is going to be really, really close for a while, and then Missouri's going to pull it out at the end. I mean, Kansas looked really good the last 2 games, but they played nobodies. So I just think, SEC boys are going to take care of business. But I think Kansas will come out swinging first half, but I think it will be no contest by middle of the third quarter. So give me Missouri comfortable.
All right, Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm going to go Missouri close in this game. I do think Kansas is a very good team. I think both these teams are good. I just think Bo Pribula is going to be able to make enough plays. I liked the way that Bo played. I know they were playing an FCS school, but I really liked the way he played and had that offense rolling. I think it being at home for Missouri, there's going to be a little bit, like you said, those older fans who were part of the border war, they're going to be there. They're going to be into this game. I think that atmosphere is going to be really fun. And I think Missouri's going to win a close game, a really good game. This might be the best game of the day.
Yeah. Mitchell, you should honestly hate Bo Pribula because he lit up your dude person last week. They played Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
He lit up your guy, dude person.
Dude's ready to enter the transfer portal. It's
okay. Who do you guys think I'm going to pick?
You're going to pick Kansas.
I'm picking the Jayhawks, baby. I'm picking the Jayhawks close. I have to. If Jalen Daniels, again, if he stays upright, stays healthy, I honestly think they can win. I've been very impressed the way they've played so far this season. I think they've looked very good. They can run the football. They can throw the ball. Jalen Daniels is a dual threat. Their defense looks much improved. And Missouri, I just think they're very meh. I don't see any. Bo Pribula had a great game against Central Arkansas. Okay, congratulations. You threw for 7,000 yards against a guy named Dude Person. All right, congratulations. And they won 66-0. But this is the big leagues. They're going to be playing a big game here. And I think Kansas, again, they want to be able to make a statement here. Missouri's just kind of, I don't think Missouri cares as much about this game as I think Kansas might. And you know what? It's bias. I like Kansas. I'm going to pick Kansas. All right. It's bias. I'll just be honest. All right. Arizona State at Mississippi State. This is a rematch of last year's game. Arizona State hosted this game last year and won, but they do not have Scadaboo anymore. So, Mitchell, why don't you give your analysis on this game first?
Mississippi State's not very good. So I think Arizona State big.
Okay.
Big.
Cody, what you got?
Yeah, Mississippi State's not very good. I think they know that, and so they may play their hardest to try to prove something. So I've got Arizona State comfortable.
Just trying to be hottest. Have you ever heard that? You Tommy Fleetwood's son? I'm just trying to be hottest.
Hey, guys, I don't know why you don't believe in this Mississippi State team. I'm picking the Bulldogs. No, I'm just kidding.
You're crazy. Dude.
No, I'm not. No, okay. I'm not picking the Bulldogs.
My gosh.
I'm picking Arizona State to win this game, but I do think it'll be close. It's going to be at Mississippi State. I think they're feeling themselves a little, even though they beat Southern Miss last week. I think that was a big win for them. That they're feeling good. I think they're going to try to ride that momentum. They want to try to avenge that loss, and I think they know that wins are going to be kind of hard to come by this season. So they're going to really scratch and claw to try to win this game. But I think ultimately Arizona State pulls it out. They win the game, but it's going to be a close one. Give me the Sun Devils. I don't think Arizona State's ever in danger of losing this game, but it will be close. Next one, Vanderbilt at Virginia Tech, another rematch from last season. This is last season I was very high on Virginia Tech, and then they lost this game, and then I immediately jumped off the Virginia Tech bandwagon. So, Cody, if you are still frozen, hopefully you're not still frozen.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your screen's frozen. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Give me your pick for Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I think Vanderbilt's going to hear Metallica, and they're going to shake a little bit, and they're going to have fear in their eyes, and then they're going to beat Virginia Tech. I don't think they're a very good team. I think Vanderbilt's also not that great, but I think Vanderbilt's going to pull it off and win close. So I want Vanderbilt beating Virginia Tech close. I'm not high on the Hokies, and we also play them, so I'm biased. Screw those Hokies.
All right, Mitchell, give me your pick.
Yeah, I'm going Virginia Tech. I mean, I think Virginia Tech wins this game close. They're at home. I don't think this is going to be very different than last year's game. Pavia is going to have to go on the road. This is going to be a raucous environment, the first home game of the year. an experienced team in Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech played a lot better than their score indicated against South Carolina. That's still a good it's a top 10 South Carolina team, and I don't think South Carolina destroyed them by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's a good Virginia Tech team, and I think they're going to beat Vanderbilt in a close game.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be a close and gritty game, but I got Vanderbilt winning. I like Diego Pavia. I like the grit of this team. I just like the moxie that he brings to this team, and the vibe has just changed. Vanderbilt's no longer the cellar dweller. Now they're probably the cream part of the Oreo cookie where they're just going to sit in the middle all the time. But, at least they're not the bottom dwellers anymore. But I think they win this game. I don't have a lot of trust or faith in Brent Pry as a head coach. And ever since he's taken over as head coach, they usually always have a better second half of the season than first half. And I think that remains true. It'll be a close defensive game. I think that Virginia Tech's got a good defense, but man, Kyron Drones, I had such high hopes for him. I just don't see it from him yet. I haven't seen a great game from Kyron Drones lately. And I like the attitude. I like the moxie of Diego Pavia. Give me Vanderbilt to win this game close. Next game, Boston College at Michigan State, yet another rematch from last season. Why don't you start this one off, Mitchell? Boston College at Michigan State.
Why don't you start one off so you don't just piggyback off people's picks?
Okay, I'll start one off. I'm going to go Michigan State comfortable. I think Michigan State wins this game comfortably. Aiden Childs, I think, is a decent quarterback. I still think I need to see it. I think I need to see a little bit more from him. He has the hype behind him, but I need to see him have a big game. And I really love their head coach. Was it something Smith?
Yeah, he's from
Oregon State. I forget his first name, but I know his last name is Smith. But I like him. I think he's going to build a strong program there at Michigan State. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I think they're going to have a good defense, and that's going to be the difference. Boston College, look, Lonergan. I don't think he's very great. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback. I like Bill O'Brien, and I think they'll win some games this year, but this is not one of them. Give me Michigan State to win this game comfortable. Now, Mitchell, if you'd like to give your pick.
Yeah, I think Michigan State close. I don't think Lonergan's very bad. He's a Brookwood kid. Dylan Lonergan, Brookwood High School.
What does that supposed to mean?
No, I'm just saying. No, I know you don't care. I'm just saying. Local guys is cool. I think this game's close, but I think Michigan State pulls it out. I just think it's going to be low scoring. I don't think either team has the firepower yet offensively for it to be a blowout in any way. So I think this is going to be a low scoring, rough, kind of ugly game. But I low-key really like the night, like the slate at night that we have this week. It's a lot of very interesting matchups. So,
Cody,
I picked this one, Michigan State close, just because it's at home. Boston College could be a good team, like you said. They could win some games. I like Bill O'Brien, but I don't know. I just have a vibe that. Spartans are going to pull it out. So give me Michigan State close.
If I'm not mistaken, Boston College won this game last year. I'm pretty sure they did.
They did.
Yes.
And then finally the game of the week, Michigan at Oklahoma. This is a huge game. And since I've been letting y'all go, I'll go first on this one as well. I've been back and forth on this game a lot. All week I had Oklahoma winning this game, but the more and more I thought about it, more and more I analyzed it, I've got Michigan winning the game close. I think Bryce Underwood looked pretty good last week, but I think the difference is Justice Haynes. Justice Haynes went off last week. I think the reason why he left is he said he wasn't getting enough carries at Alabama, and we see they probably could use him this year. They probably really could have used Justice Haynes. That defense still looks really good, and I think they're being disrespected. I haven't seen many people pick Michigan to win this game. And look, I like John Mateer. I like Oklahoma, but there's some real glaring issues that Oklahoma still hasn't addressed yet. I know it's only been 1 week, but they still got some real glaring issues there that I see. And I don't know, man. I've got this gut feeling that Michigan pulls this game out and wins it close. Cody?
Oklahoma has disappointed me many times every time I pick them. So I have no reason to pick them, but I'm going to pick them. I want Oklahoma close. I don't really know what I'm looking at. Michigan. Michigan's not been the same the last couple of years. And so, home environment. I've just got a gut feeling that Oklahoma's going to win this one. They usually win some early games, and I think this will be a good statement win for them. So, Boomer Sooner.
Yeah. All right, Mitchell.
I don't care if there's glaring holes. Oklahoma has John Mateer. John Mateer, in his first game as Oklahoma quarterback, already has the Oklahoma single-game passing record with 392 yards. John Mateer is going to throw all over Michigan. It's going to be a close game, but John Mateer and the Oklahoma Sooners will win this game. Bryce Underwood will throw 2 interceptions in this game, and that will be the downfall of this game. Give me Oklahoma close. Boomer!
It's a good pick. I had Oklahoma all week, and I just changed it about 2 hours ago. I just changed my pick about 2 hours ago. So now let's get to our Super Dogs. Does anybody want to volunteer to do their Super Dog? And here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say about Super Dogs this year. If 2 people have the same Super Dog, let's just keep it instead of making them find another one. All right. So go ahead. Mitchell, you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm going to start with a 12 o'clock game. It's a team that we've already talked about actually at length. I've got San Jose State covering the 36.5 over Texas. And I don't think that's any Texas or San Jose State might win the game. No, I think Texas is going to win the game by like 31. I think the game will be like 38-7 or something like that. And I think that's just one of those games. Texas is going to make their statement in the first half, and they're going to rest. And they're just going to take it easy in the second half. Give me San Jose State with a cover. I don't think the San Jose State team is horrible. So I think that Texas is going to win this game very easily, but San Jose State comes in and covers.
All right. You want to go next, or you want me to go next, Cody?
I got you. The team that always surprises either week 1 or week 2, nobody ever thinks about, and suddenly beats a big team, and everybody goes, oh my gosh, it's NIU. And NIU is going to cover Maryland's minus 16.5.
Yeah, that's
very confident in it. If everybody remembers, they beat Notre Dame second week last year. So
why is that spread so high? Maryland is not.
I have no idea. That's free money. Like
that Maryland
betting is legal right now. Take that.
What'd you say, Mitchell?
He is good, dude.
The Maryland quarterback?
Yes.
You think so?
The true freshman that they started. He's a true freshman, dude. That dude is good.
All right, mine. I'm actually surprised that nobody else took this one. I was very, very impressed with this team last week. I'm picking South Florida to cover the 17.5 against Florida this week. I still think Florida wins the game, but I think 17.5 is a lot of points against a team that I was very, very impressed with. A big win over Boise State. That defense looks really good. And, man, what's his name? Gosh, why does his name escape me? The quarterback.
Byron Brown.
Byron Brown looks amazing, and I get it's at the Swamp, but Alabama knows all about the last 2 years how hard it is to beat this USF team. Give me South Florida. I think this one's a free money. 17.5 is a lot of points, and I actually picked this game back on Monday. I was looking at it, and the line has not changed. So give me South Florida to cover 17.5 against Florida. All right. That's our picks for this week. Emerson couldn't make picks this week because he's still in Tennessee, but he'll be back next week. But that's the show.
I do want to say something quite funny. In the NFL game, I turned it on, and before the first play, so they kicked the ball off. The Cowboys got on offense, and first play of the game, before they even snapped the ball, Jalen Carter, former Georgia guy, defensive tackle for the Eagles, walks up to Dak Prescott and spits on him and gets ejected. First play. Before the first play.
Wait, is that the first play of the NFL of the season?
The Cowboys are winning, surprisingly.
Yeah, they just drove down the field very nice.
I'm a Cowboys fan, and I don't think we're going to be very good this year. So I think Brian Schottenheimer may be the worst coaching hire in NFL history, or at least Cowboys history. But if we win today, I haven't watched the Cowboys game in 3 years because I just hate how the team is being run.
You're about to go turn it on right after this.
Well, there's nothing else on. If there was a college football game on, even if it was like Montana versus like South Dakota, I'd watch that over it.
100%.
Like honestly,
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go watch it just because there's nothing else on.
For sure.
All right, but that's the show, guys.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
We will see y'all next week.
Yes, sir. We don't know what day we're gonna record next week yet, but we'll have a show next week. See ya.
Peace.